from a coaching staff, we're always looking and reviewing the things that you do wrong. And there are some things that need addressing. We're not going to hide from the fact of that, but we believe that the corrections are very easily adaptable. And the one thing that's bitten us more than anything right now in our minds has been our discipline. And for whatever reason, it seems that we seem to be on the short side of all the power plays and penalty killing advantages. Thus, our penalty killing has been taxed. We have given up our third man far too many times on the ice surface, where we're giving up too many rushes, and we're vacating the most critical area of the ice in the defensive zone, the middle of it. We're not protecting it well enough. So those are easy in our minds as a coaching staff that we can fix.
You have Clarkson on a different line today. Is that a function of some people not being there today, or is that
both?
Something you're thinking of tomorrow?
We always try to put people together that we think is going to fit, and we just haven't saw the mix of Kadri and Clarkson been effective enough for us to provide offense.
Randy, throughout the month, could you almost see this coming, like the way the team was playing, and you were kind of maybe concerned that this was going to happen?
Well, we were concerned for sure, and we've stated it. We've made the statement. The one thing about what happens is then when you continue to have success and you're doing it that way, it's not as drastic. But we've been hit right with a hammer right now, so we know where we're at, and we know what we need to do to correct ourselves. And all we've asked of our players is we want 10% more from every individual in there, and in some cases I believe there's 20% more for people to give. And we will try and make sure that we don't vacate those critical areas. We don't give up our third guy, and play that aggressive forechecking style without giving up odd-man rushes, because our rush game, as far as defensively, that's where the majority of the chances have been coming, and that in the power play. So we believe that those are easily correctable issues with our team. Now, does it happen overnight? I hope so. That's the reality of it. But that's what our job is to continue to find ways to get this group to play to a higher level.
Is there any update on Cody Franzen?
He's still sore, so we decided that it would be best suited both for him and Jay McClement to have maintenance days. Lupul skated before practice, so he's starting back on the road to recovery, and Fraser McLaren looks that he's available for tomorrow night.
Disappointed are you by the lack of production from your defense? 3 goals.
Again, those are the areas that we thought we'd have ample support from our offense, and those are the things that you count on in the summer months, but it's just not transpiring in the game. So we have to find ways, again, for our defense to be involved more. And I think there's a couple of simple ways. Is number one, to get pucks through from the point. A lot of pucks in today's game seem to find a seeing eye shot, gets through, and we haven't done a very good job of getting pucks through. And number two is when to join the rush and make it a 3-on-2 if you're a defenseman to get up on the play. And those are the things that we're going to continue to ask those players that are skilled and have the green light to do those things. And that's Jake Gardner, Dion Phaneuf, Paul Ranger, Morgan Riley. Those are players that are adept at getting up on the play, and that's what we have to do. Pick the right time to go and the right spot to go.
You've emphasized not letting the white noise get to players. With the HBO cameras coming later this week, is that white noise just going to be doubled, tripled? It's going to be that much more tougher, don't you think, with the guys?
We've been dealing with it internally already. Like the coaching staff, or myself anyways, I spent an hour with them 2 weeks ago on a day off. Our players committed to doing interviews with them, and that they've already been here. So they've already given us a kind of a taste of what we're going to see. It is a little different when you have a camera and a guy sitting on the floor in your team meeting. I'll just tell you, it's a little different. So it's
Is there a little Boudreaux on them?
No, I got to hold my profanity to the minimum.
What specifically about Kadri Clarkson wasn't working anymore?
We're not creating enough. We're not creating enough chances, and we're not creating enough from an offensive standpoint. And it just, for me and for us, we waited to do an analysis over the 3 games, and we just felt there wasn't enough there.
Is it difficult for you not to get frustrated at a point like this and let that boil over? Or do you just have to keep the message kind of the same?
Stress varies in coaching. It goes from one level to, I'd say it's always high, but to the boiling point, it's real difficult at times. But again, our job is to be the calming influence, and it's hard, you know, and our job is to show leadership. And when leaders, you can't be going off on your players on a continual basis because they become numb. And I think that screaming and hollering, we've done enough of that at times. So now's the time to accentuate the positives that they bring, correct and instruct and coach the negatives out of our group.
To that,
The decision not to loan Morgan Riley to the World Juniors?
Because we felt we had 6 defensemen here and he was going to play. If we felt we were being counterproductive in his growth or his development, then it would make that decision that much more difficult. We feel that he can play here and he can make a contribution, and he's growing into an NHL hockey player.
Are McClement and friends and options tomorrow?
Yes.
San Jose is a good team, obviously. The one that you and some of your guys are familiar with, the ones that played in the West.
We've saw them before. We know what they're about. Big, strong, skating team. And if you let them have freedom and room on the ice, they're gonna hurt you. It'll be a test for our group.